So, so that was my job, and that was in '84. Yeah, that was my job, man. So I'm cool. I'm going through the process. Everything's cool, you know. And as I was, for some reason, man, every day we leave the yard, leave the unit, go to work or whatever, come back or whatever. I used to see this old brother, man, standing in front of the unit, you know, picking up cigarette butts off the ground, man, smoking them, you know. And I found out his name was Mr. Johnny Pope. Johnny Pope was his name, you know. And for some reason, you know, I always had a good heart, you know, and I felt that, and I always had a propensity to help the weak, you know what I'm saying, the vulnerable, you know. And for some reason, though, every time I get my script and I go to the store, and I used to start buying a pack of Bugler for Mr. Pope. So once a month I get my script, go to the store, I come back, go in my little bag, say, here you go, Mr. Pope. You ain't gotta pick up butts today. You know, you can smoke the real ones today. You know, make it last, make it last. You know, so, but I'll tell you this, I mentioned Mr. Pope for a reason. I'm gonna come back to it later. And so, as time went on that year, I played hoop off the rip. You know, I started playing hoop. I wasn't that good at first, but I got good later on. But I always liked the basketball, you know. And well, actually, when I first got there, my Bubba Reese, you know, imam for the Sunni religious order, was a football coach. You know, and we was all, well, that was, well, let me go back, because I'm still in 3 block right now, and I'll tell you how I got the 4 block. I'm in 3 block, and I'm playing hoop, so I play hoop, stuff like that. So one day, I leave my coat outside, you know, by the basketball pole. You know, as we're playing games, they call the yard in. I'm so sweating, I'm feeling good. I ain't cold, you know. And so, the guy approached me and said, hey man, I think I got your coat, man, you know. He said, meet me in the chow hall tomorrow, man, and I'm gonna give it to you. Now, my first neighbor was Louis, brother named Louis boy. He was my first neighbor. Cool, smooth. He was smooth. Louis was smooth as hell, you know. And hot yellow brother, pretty boy, you know. But he was cool, man, you know. And we kind of befriended each other right off the rip. You know, guys measure you, you know, they measure you. You know, you're gonna get tried, don't get it twisted. At some point, you're gonna get tried. Somebody gonna try your ass. Unless you join a gang or some old shit like that right away, you know. But if you try to, you know, hold your own, you know, doing solo, you gonna get tried. You know, make no mistake about it. So, I meet the guy in the chow hall. The guy say, hey, yeah, I got your coat, man, but I'm I got my mama ordering me a leather coat. And I'm gonna give you your coat. When my mama sent me my coat. So my instinct was, this nigga trying to play me like a bitch or something, you know? So that's what I tell him. I said, man, it sound like you trying to play me like a bitch or something, homeboy. Then his buddy gonna say, you heard what he said. You know, they don't even know. They don't even know. I don't give a fuck about his buddy. They don't even know, man. Because I'm a cool dude, you know. You know, I'm a nice guy, man. Don't let me bring that ugly man out. You know, for me to go to 0 to the other side to 100, man, and tap that ugly man, you don't want me to tap the ugly man on the shoulder, man. You don't want me, hey, but anyway, so I walked to the table with the nigga, him and his buddy. I said, man, you know, you trying to play me like a bitch or something, man. You know, I need my shit. It's cold out here, man. You know, I had borrowed another jacket, you know, out the unit. And I'm gonna put it back, you know, when I got my coat, you know. And so the motherfucker kept, you know, stressing the point. And just so happened, Louis boy and his clique was 2 tables down on the same row in the chow hall where I was eating with these lames. So I get up, and I know Louis boy, he had already been there 11 years. I'm a fish. I just came in this motherfucker. I ain't even got a year in this motherfucker yet. But me and Louis was cool, you see. But so I go down there and holler at Louis. I said, Louis, this lame up here, man, trying to play me like a bitch. I'm gonna holler at this nigga, man. So Louis like, well, what you tell me for? Handle your business. I said, just so happened the guy that was talking all that shit, his back was to us. You know, where I was talking to Louis, but his partner was facing us on the other side of the table. So he seen me talk to Louis and his clique. So when Louis, I said, you see that nigga right there that's looking down this way? I said, I don't know about this nigga here, but I'm gonna fuck that other nigga up, but I don't know about this nigga. You know, Louis said, don't worry about that nigga. Handle your business. That was all I needed to hear. That was all I needed to hear, because as I was walking back to the table, you know, the nigga didn't even inform his buddy that I was even coming. Nigga froze on sight. Nigga was stiff as a dead bird. You know, I jumped up on the table and kicked my man in the face. Bam! The gun tower shooting off. Pow! I don't hear shit. And I done knocked this light through the floor. And I'm wailing on this lane, you know. This other sucker froze. He didn't attempt to do nothing. He thought I was with Louis and them. But see, Louis didn't know. I was just playing them. I was just playing. I was just fronting on this nigga to freeze. That was my intent. I know Louis didn't know me long enough to be in my business like that. You know, to put himself out there for me like that. But I knew his reputation. Nigga been down 11 years, nigga got clout. And the fact that I'm kicking it with this nigga, this nigga don't know that I don't know, or that me and Louis ain't cool, or blah, 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 what. He don't know. So when I come back up out that crime with them real gangsters, you understand, that nigga froze. I put the beat down on his motherfucking mellow. So We go to lockup. I end up seeing the lane. They put us in separate cells. I passed by the lane cell. The lane goes, hey man, don't tell nobody what went down. I said, fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm out this bitch, you know what I'm saying? I stayed up maybe 45 days. I got locked up. They locked me up about 45 days and shit. You know, in solitary confinement and shit. This sucker ended up going to blue hole card, protective custody. This bitch type motherfucker, man. He was a bitch all the time, man. He thought I don't know why this, you know. So I had to just let a motherfucker know, hey man, listen, at the end of the day, man, listen. My crime is something I did. But it ain't who I am. That was just an isolated incident, a one-time thing, you know, I got caught up in a moment. But it's something I did, man, that went totally against my upbringing and everything that I believed in. That situation was totally against that, went against that. You know, so don't get it twisted, you know. And so I get out the hole, my little couple of medals ran up to me because they was fish too. You know, we kind of sticking together a little bit, trying to show strength too, you know what I'm saying? They like, now they looking at me like the leader, you know? Nigga, you did that in front of the whole world, nigga. You ain't fucking around, nigga. You our dog for real, nigga. Anybody in this bitch know, you understand, you want to go down, nigga, we ready to go down, nigga. You know, we know how you land now, nigga. We ready to go down for anything, whatever. You know, so I set the scene. So I remember the day I got out of the hole, Louis working on the yard crew. Everybody was called off the yard. He just, you know, lingered around because that's his job to clean up the yard and everybody go in. He's sitting on one of the tables. He said, here come John Wayne. He started calling me John Wayne. Because I jumped up on the table and kicked that lame in the face. Knocked him down to the floor and beat that sucker down. They called me John Wayne. You know, we had to laugh about that, but see, he didn't know. I used him, you know, as a front, as a power move that I didn't have. Perception-wise, the other person didn't know that I didn't have no influence with these people. But the fact that I was man enough to approach their circle and kick it with a motherfucking veteran, he assumed that I had that influence and they backing. And I never told Louis that. You know, I just always thanked him. He never knew what I was thanking him for. Because obviously it wasn't his intention to do shit for me. But I was thanking him for allowing me to approach him and to use him and his crew as a front to freeze that other sucker so I could beat his motherfucking partner's ass. And so throughout my whole bit, I always thank Louis, man. Every time I seen him, you know, hey man, you don't even know, man, what you did for me, man. He didn't know what he done for me, because I never broke it down to him. I just like, what you did for me, man. But I knew what he did for me. I just used to say, what you did for me, man, set the pattern, you know, for me to get up out this motherfucker, for me to generate that reputation and that respect, ability off rip from day one, week one, month one. Motherfuckers knew at that point in time, you're gonna have to put some work in fucking with this one here. Yeah, I don't give a fuck with 3, 4 you niggas. Y'all gonna have to put some work in. You see this nigga and his partner, he ain't give a fuck about his partner, and you gotta put some work in. Ain't no them niggas together. They said that nigga Phil, he didn't even try to have the partner. Who is this nigga? Oh, he was talking to Louis, man. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this nigga connected. Oh, who? They didn't know. I'm working. Nigga, it's about survival in this mother. It's about survival, man. You got to use all the angles you can get, you know, to your advantage, man, you know. And so I get out the hole and get back with my clique. And so it's coming toward the end of the year. So it's like January 85. And one of these groups in the religious order, the leader, was going to hold a demonstration on Dr. King's birthday. And Dr. King's, I'm from Memphis, and I was there when Dr. King got assassinated, standing up for the garbage man, you know.